Good morning, everyone. So thank you for joining another week of the GSE UK Conference 2021. Today, we've got session 5AS, which is being presented by Guy Mueller from Rocket Software. And the subject of today's presentation is optimize zOS performance with easy-to-use, actionable analytics. Now, you may have questions throughout the presentation. If you do have them, please raise them in the chat box. And at the end of the presentation, Guy will be answering your questions. So without further ado, Guy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So good day. Thank you for attending this session about optimizing zOS performance with easy-to-use actionable analytics. And okay. So my name is Guy Muller, and I am based in France. And before we start, I would like to thank Graham Hannington and Adam Limbert for helping me put this presentation together. It has been a team effort. So as you can see, I am in charge of the engineering team for the ZMAP product. And MAP stands for Monitoring AIOps and Performance. And you probably use some of the products that we are developing, like, for example, SDSF, RMF reporting, the OmegaMon, the Kix and AMS performance tool, zTrim or EOS. And our focus is to maximize the value delivered to our customer and to make it easy to use for the user, for you. So during this presentation, we are going to talk about the challenges that you are experiencing, provide a brief overview of the analytic platform, and provide example of analytics on RMF and non-RMF data. This presentation is practical and should be easy to follow. We have kept this presentation short to leave room for your question, and I hope that you will enjoy this time together. As you all know, we need to do more with less, and therefore achieve higher service level with tighter budget, support the growing mobile workload, and increase the amount of changes to support the digitalization effort, and increase the security of the mainframe, which are more and more integrated with distributed system. And the transition due to the COVID will only accelerate these trends. When discussing with customer leveraging analytics for the data, they all tell us that it provides easy access to information for subject matter experts and non-mainframe stakeholders, provide easy access to historical information for trend analysis and comparison, and reduce the time to insight to accelerate troubleshooting. And finally, it's the foundation for predictive detection of issues in order to address them before they impact the system. In a few words, it makes their life easier. When you consider leveraging your Z data in an analytic platform, you have several areas to consider. First, which data do you want to analyze? Do you want to focus on the overall Z system activity with RMF data, or do you want to enter into a subsystem like Kix, AMS, DB2? Are the SMF records detailed enough, or do you need more detailed information? And don't forget to estimate the volume of data you will need to process on a daily basis. It will have an impact on the amount of resources that will be consumed. Then you need to identify which analytic platform you want to leverage. Does your company have an existing platform that you can leverage? Does your team have expertise on one of these platforms? Do you want this platform to run on Linux and Z? Finally, you need to identify how to transfer the data depending on your needs. Is batch data transfer sufficient, or do you need near real-time data transfer? The volume of data to be transferred will also need to be considered. The main analytic platform are Splunk, Elastic, and Prometheus. And initially, each platform had strong differences, but these differences are decreasing over time, thanks to an extremely aggressive development roadmap. In a summary, if your company is already leveraging Splunk, check if you can add your zData into it. There is value of having open system and zData in one platform. But beware of the volume of data you want to ingest per day. It has a direct impact on the Splunk costs. If you want the analytic platform to run on Linux and Z, consider Elastic and Prometheus. If your company has no platform of choice and you want to focus on real-time monitoring, consider Prometheus. It's really easy to implement and it's open source. If your company has no platform of choice and you need scalable long-term storage, consider the open source Elastic. Beware, there are plans for a future license change. As you can see, all three analytic platforms have an active user base and generate a lot of interest. The main players are Elastic and Splunk, but Prometheus needs to be considered. Actually, to start, there is no real bad choice to start leveraging analytics on zData. So, as you know, RMF data is a good source of data to start with. It provides easy access to the overall view of the Z system activity. It enables the identification of bottlenecks and is available in near real time from any platform. Thanks to the distributed data server, also known as DDS or GPM serve, you can access in near real time the most important RMF data from Z and of Z. It's fairly easy to query the data that you are interested in and get it back in an XML report. This report can be used to populate your analytic platform. So let me now share with you example of how our customers are using analytic on RMF data. This is my favorite part as it is a result of a lot of discussion with numerous customers. I hope you will enjoy it. So let's start with the monitoring of the R4H peak. You want to understand if you are at risk of exceeding your R4H peak for the current month. Let's assume that we are February 9th, the second Tuesday of the month, and we want to know if your MSU consumption is going to exceed the R4H peak of the month, which occurred February 2nd, the first Tuesday of the month. You will see on the slide how to achieve this goal thanks to the CPC RMF report. Let's take a look at the result. What you can see on this visualization is that the current R4H peak of the current SCRT month, this peak is displayed by the horizontal red line. The R4H profile for the day of the peak, here, February 2nd, this is displayed by the red curve. And finally, you can see here with a gray curve, the current R4H profile updated in near real time. This visualization enables the user to understand the risk of exceeding the already existing R4H peak for the month. You can easily see the gap with the peak and the trend of the current consumption. To drill down, you can split this consumption per CPC, Sysplex, or LPAR, for example. Let's switch to capping. You want to know if your environment is going to activate the capping mechanism during the next 4 hours, and then you want to identify which LPAR are being capped. You see on the slide how to achieve this goal thanks to the CPC RMF report. Let's take a look at the result. The first visualization shows the group capacity limit with the purple line on the actual R4H with a gray curve. And you can see here that the gray curve is reaching the group capacity limit and therefore is going to activate the group capacity capping. Below, you see the time estimated by RMF until the group capacity capping is going to be activated. Here, we are at 7 minutes. And finally, for each LPAR, you see the time estimated by RMF when the defined capacity capping is going to be activated. You can see here that the first LPAR to be capped will be RS25 in 5 minutes. You want to identify if some zip eligible activity occurs on general processor and potentially increases your billing. You can see on the slide how to achieve this goal thanks to the Procu RMF report. Let's take a look at the results. You see on this visualization the total zip eligible activity occurring on your CP. This consumption is split per service class. You see here that the service class DDF is having the most zip eligible activity on CP. You can then easily identify if this is usually the case during the 4 hours contributing to your R4H peak. Let me show how to identify the main reason for a service class delay. You see on the slide how to achieve this goal thanks to the delay RMF report. Let's take a look at the results. You can see here another type of visualization, the tag cloud. This visualization enables you to quickly identify the top contributor and to filter on them. Here, for example, you see the top delayed service class, batch being the first one. The top delay reason, WM being the first one. And by clicking on any service class, you will be able to filter on it and see the top delay reason for this specific service class. So we reviewed several easy examples of analytics applied to RMF data. Let me now share with you several additional customer use cases of analytics applied on non-RMF data. This will enable us to focus on different subsystems and on the business application running on them. Let me show you how you can use Prometheus for real-time zOS monitoring. Here, for example, we are going to enrich the RMF data with the SMF80 records covering RACF. As you can see on this dashboard, several visualization about your CPU consumption, general processor, and zip with a split per workload. Several visualization about your storage resources with a view of the job consuming most storage. And finally, several visualization about RACF with the invalid password event and insufficient authority events. As you can see, you can easily change the period covered, from example here from 1 hour to 24 hours, thanks to the existing out-of-the-box time filters. You can change the LPAR, for example here from RS25 to RS28, drill down to a specific time period, drill down on the WLM job, and finally view all the insufficient authority events. As a summary, this dashboard is easy to configure, customize, and use. We provided you several examples on how to leverage the analytics solution for system metrics, but you can also easily leverage them to monitor your applications. Let me show how you can use Prometheus for the monitoring of a business application by calling the Prometheus exporter APIs. You can see on this dashboard a monitoring of a Kix COBOL banking application. It provides you in real time how many deposits, payment, and cash withdrawal transactions have been processed, the number of transactions by different servicing channels, such as ATM, branch, or internet banking. And to publish this metric, you need to call the Prometheus exporter API from the application. In this case, The exporter is called from a COBOL application, and this works from application in any language. By leveraging the Kix SMF record, the 110, you can monitor your Kix subsystem and, for example, track the transaction rate and response times. And you can see in this Kix Splunk dashboard visualization about the volume of Kix activity, average CPU time being consumed, and the response time. Like in any analytics dashboard, the filtering and time navigation is intuitive. Let's switch to IMS. Fine-tuning IMS performance is key, for example, ensuring that the incoming IMS transaction requests are optimally mapped to the data stores. The following dashboard uses IMS Connect extension feed as a data source. You see in this Splunk dashboard visualization to compare the relationship between various identifiers, such as client IP address, IMS transaction identifier, original IMS data stores, and the target IMS data stores. And the filters enable you to drill down and to refine your analysis. A last example with the Kix subsystem and the monitoring of the Kix region saturation level. This is based on the Kix SMF record, the 110. Kix regions that are consistently operating at or near their max task needs investigation. On this visualization, you see the saturation rate per application ID. You see that the blue one is operating at a level near saturation for most of the time. And as a result, you may decide to turn your transaction routing to direct workload to other regions. So you will find here references to several videos around analytics applied to Kix and IMS subsystem. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have specific questions. And as you can have seen, leveraging analytics for Z-data provide easy access to information for subject matter experts and non-mainframe stakeholders, provide easy access to historical information for trend analysis and comparison, and reduces the time to insight to accelerate troubleshooting. And finally, it's a foundation for a predictive detection of issues in order to address them before they impact the system. So in a few words, it will make your life easier. And IBM and Rocket are implementing data streaming in numerous solutions. Our Maps, the Omega Man, the Kix and IMS performance tools. And we would love to talk to you to better understand your needs and to ensure that we maximize the value delivered to you. So really don't hesitate to contact us, contact IBM or the Rocket team working on this. And we look forward to work with you and capture your input in our development process. So let's open the floor for questions. And it's always the first question that is the hardest.
So does anyone have any questions? Please raise them in the chat box. I don't think there are any questions, Guy.
Let's blame it on my French accent. So really, really don't hesitate to contact us if you would like to do a deep dive on any of these aspects. If you are interested by this topic, and we are actively developing on this topic, so we would really love to discuss with you and understand your needs.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, if you have any questions, like guys said, please, you can contact Guy directly or send it to the questions to Joe and I, and we can forward to Guy. So Guy's email is at the end of this slide. Sorry, I was having here a technical difficulty with my mic. Not the best start of the week, I guess.
We can hear you well.
Okay, perfect. So don't forget to leave a feedback to this session. And as always, please do consider becoming a GSE UK member. There are several benefits, including discounts and access to certain presentations and meetings that are exclusive to our members. So thank you very much for attending this session. I hope to see you in our next session that will be at 12 p.m. UK time, where we will be covering analyzing zOS SMF capture ratios. So until then, thank you and see you later.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you.